We are going to talk about real-life simulations in cyber defense exercises. And one of the reasons why we are going to talk about that is that we truly believe that success of the exercise is depending on how well are we simulating the different things in the exercises. I have to do 2 remarks here on this slide. It means that one of the remarks is that in your printed program, the word simulation is missing, unfortunately. And the second remark, what I have to do is that I'm the affiliation. It means that I'm not from NATO. I'm from NATO Cyber Defense Center of Excellence. And that is a center established by the NATO nations. And we are doing, in the center, we are doing research, we are doing classroom trainings, and we're also doing exercises. Yes, about the branch, it means that we have a top-notch technical expert who are doing that, and we are very proud of that. Going into the exercise itself, the center itself is conducting 2 exercises. One of them is called locked shields. Another one is called crossed swords. The locked shields itself, it is the biggest international, most technically complex live fire exercise. And yes, the other one, the crossed swords, it is a smaller one. And just because of the 20 minutes, I need to stick in these locked shields. And in a first part, I'm giving a very short overview about the exercise locked shields. And in a second part, we are going to talk about the simulations, what kind of simulations we are doing in this exercise in order to keep the exercise most beneficial for the audience. That's one really good picture from the exercise, which explains a lot. It explains the exercise itself. It explains the teams we are using in this exercise. We see there T-shirts. That is one of the exercises where actually dress code is not a tie and suit. It's a T-shirt, colored T-shirt according to the team color. And yes, in the next slide, I'm going maybe even a little bit more through the teams. But yes, we have a green team, we have red team, we have yellow team, and we have a white team there. We have also a blue team, which is actually the main target audience of this exercise. In the background, we see a lot of visualizations. It means that in order to have the understanding and the learning from the exercise, we need to simulate. Otherwise, it's not fun if people are just everyone in their command line and no one knows what's going on. The teams itself, how the exercise is organized. We have 20 blue teams who are national blue teams. We have 20 nations coming together. Actually, the blue teams are not coming together because the blue teams are in their own capitals around the world. And they are connected via VPN to the cyber range, which is in Estonia, in our center. And they are the main target audience of the exercise. They are competing to each other. There is a friendly competition, means that we are scoring them. The teams are scored, and they see in a real life how good they are compared to others, which is actually one of the main motivation factors of the teams. And everyone wants to win. No one wants to lose. Everyone wants to be better than the neighbor. That's very important. We have a green team, and the green team is a team who prepares the exercise, who prepares the environment of the exercise. And the green team works already half a year before the exercise. It means that the half a year, it takes a lot of effort to make the systems and networks working. We have a red team. The main task for the red team is to conduct equally balanced attacks across the blue teams. Equally balanced attacks is very important because the scoring, it needs to be fair. The scoring needs to be fair. And a similar type of the attack will be conducted on every blue team. We also have a white team whose task is mainly to control the exercise. And just as an example, if, for example, in a very first hour of the exercise, it comes out that red team is going to destroy everything, then maybe the white team has authority to tell to the red team that, hey, hold back a little bit, just not to destroy the game. There is also a yellow team who is responsible for the situational awareness. We all saw the screens in the last slide, and actually they have to provide the visibility of the exercise. And now let's go into the simulations. We are simulating the networks. The networks itself, what we are simulating there, they are built very close to the real-life environment. And that is the target of the exercise. There are typical systems like file servers, web servers, all that what we have in our everyday life, and we are calling it like a business IT systems. In addition to that, we have also special systems like cooling system, IoT stuff, all this kind of industrial control systems, military systems, and all that. And that actually is also a vital part of the everyday life. And as we are military organization, in this case, our exercise is also trying to bring in this kind of special systems more and more. And every year we are bringing in more this kind of special systems. And they also need to be visualized and all that. We are also simulating people. One way to proceed is that some exercises do it in this way, that they are they're using a pre-scripted environment. Attacks are automatized, and also defense, and a lot of things are automatized. Actually, the locked shields approach shows that it's not maybe the best way ahead, because yes, it is possible to script simple exercises, but not complex ones. And in order to make the exercise possibly real life-like, we need people. We need people behind the computers. Obviously, we have real people behind the computers in a blue teams. Blue teams who is the main training audience defending their systems. And obviously, we have real people behind the computers in red team. But furthermore, one thing is that on the first row there, we see, I don't find the, okay, on the white t-shirted people there, they are the users who are using the computers. Blue team is mainly the system administrators. And they are taking care that the systems are working properly. But the white t-shirted users, they are using the computers, they are clicking malicious links, opening some attachments, doing a kind of nasty things, which might be a nightmare for the system administrator, actually. And partly, this user can be automatized, but not to the full content. It means that there are certain aspects what the users need to do, browse the web and so on, this kind of things, which is not easy to automatize. We are also simulating media. And media, in a real life, if something happens in cyber defense, cyber crisis, in this case, usually the media will give painful calls to the operators, and they asking even a silly question, something that, hey, why the web page is defaced? Why there came a smoke out of the server room? This kind of things. And that is integrated into the play. It's also integrated into the play a reporting to the management. It's very important that the management has awareness what is going on. And actually, that's a very difficult gap to be filled from the technical persons to the management. It means that how the technical, just to practice, how the technical people to address what is going on to the management. In a military world, it's a military commander. In a business world, it's a manager. We also incorporate legal aspects into the game. Internationally, it's very important to understand what is allowed to do and what is not allowed to do from the legal point of view. It means that, for example, either it is okay to hack back or not. Either what kind of actions are allowed to take in order to backtrace the attacker. And this kind of questions will be asked. There is a legal advisor in Blue Team who is answering this kind of questions. That is a network diagram of last year, actually. LS16 stands for Locked Shields 16, 2016. And very simplified diagram, very, very simplified diagram. And it is a network systems of one Blue Team. In real life, we are cloning. It's all in a virtual environment, and we are cloning it this way that 20 teams will get a similar environment. And on the left-hand side, there are typical systems. On DMZ, there is an office segment, and there is a kind of lab environment. And that was really last year's environment. On the right side, we have some special systems as well. Last year, we had a drone, simulated drone, which was flying around. I have a better screenshot on the next slide. And we also had a cooling system, which was taking care of the server room cooling. There is a PLC, programmable logic controller, which actually switches on and off the air conditioning of the server room. And now let's go to these special systems, how to simulate that and how to visualize that. That is one of the collection of the special systems we are using in our exercises. Yes, we are using traffic lights. In order to do that, we are going to investigate and research how a real traffic light works, also the program code and everything, in order to build a possibly real-like system. There is also a door. It is an access system. It's a fingerprint-controlled access system, and in order to practice that, how to open the door, but more importantly, how to prohibit opening the door by cyber means, we need to practice it in our exercises. There is also railway shown. Yes, in order to defend the railways and railway stations from cyber attacks, we need to have a playground to practice that. And on the right, that is a model what was used last year in Locked Shields for this server room cooling scenario. Yes, we discussed that all the systems are virtualized and it is easy to clone these systems. However, if we talk about the special systems on the picture, these are not easily clonable. It means that we need to really have, every Blue Team needs to have one programmable logic controller which they need to defend. How the game looked like? It was like that the display shows there a server room temperature. Obviously, if it goes, the normal range is supposed to be between 26 and 18 degrees. If it goes, the server room temperature goes over 26 degrees, the cooling will be switched on and temperature starts sinking slowly. And if it's 18 degrees, cooling will be switched off and temperature starts rising. That is a normal cycle and that it works. Blue Team 18 on the left. The server room temperature is 60. Probably something has happened and probably the server room cooling is not switched on. If the server room temperature is 60 degrees, you guys know roughly what it will mean. Something needs to happen. And we also simulate that, what happens. Usually it blows up. And actually, yes, we have a firecracker there connected just to visualize that, how it blows up. And that is just one example how to simulate these kind of things. We do think that it's very important for the exercise in order to offer the best learning experience. About the evolution of the simulations, we had the drone scenario on last year exercise. This year exercise, we will have something bigger. We will have some military command and control systems, and we have also a real drone flight simulator, which is actually programmed this way that it thinks that it flies around. The last year was actually software-based development, which was a radar picture, which shows the development. Then, as last year, we had this PLC matrix, the programmable logic controller matrix controlling the server room temperature. Then we are going on this year, we will have a full SCADA system which will control the power grid. These are the simulations we need to bring in. Quite a challenging, but also quite a motivating for the participants and quite interesting to play. That's my summary slide, and what needs to be simulated. First of all, it's people. People in red team, people in blue teams, and more importantly, also the system users. The users who are really every day using the computers. Only then we can build a good exercise. Yes, the hackers, they are the red team. We are simulating hackers. We are deploying a red team, hacking the systems. Red team, roughly 60 to 80 persons. We have 20 blue, okay, the 60 to 80 persons are sharing their efforts across 20 blue teams. System administrators, that is the blue teams, we are simulating networks and systems, already shown in the network diagram. Yes, the exercise has also a scenario. The scenario has a really close connection to the special systems, and this needs to be put into a logical sequence in the scenario so that it makes sense. Once already shown that the media and journalists calling into the exercise, also the legal constraints. That is roughly the overview what we are simulating in these exercises, and thank you for the attention.